back with another one. Yeah, it's different. We outside today. We not in the studio. I wanted this guy to be my first on the road tour because I watched him growing up. He don't even know. I seen him train Quad. I seen him train Weaver. I seen him train Julian. I seen him work with the best of the best. I seen him even do his own thing. He don't even know. But I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to see him work with the kids because, I'm all about community. Go ahead and introduce yourself real quick.
Yeah, what's up, guys? My name is Balin Trujillo. I'm a quarterback trainer here in Orlando, Florida. I've been doing it about 11 years now. It's been a ride, man, but it's definitely been, amazing. God's definitely taking control. I have nothing to do with this. It's all about God and what He's done in my life, and I'm just trying to give back to the kids, that never really can have an opportunity to have a trainer. So I know I didn't have that as a kid growing up. My dad did the best he could training me, but I never had specialized training at this position. And as we all know, quarterback is the hardest position in all sports. I don't care what nobody says. I can have conversations and dialogue about this all day long. I mean, to know everybody else's job, including your own, to know what the defense is doing as well at the same time, and all happening in 3 seconds is pretty special. So to train that and make sure this game slows down for these young kids as they progress in their careers is just something that I love to do. And it's been a fortunate thing for me to do and see kids from little, starting at 5 years old all the way living in their college dreams. And it's been amazing to see the progress. And that's the true joy in this whole training business.
Okay, then. So I wanted to ask you a few questions just to pick your brain because I've always been anxious to do this. What wakes you up in the morning to do this every day and be here for the kids? Because a lot of people aren't able to do what you do at a high level. So what makes you want to do it?
Yeah, so I mean, like I said, this is like the best time of your life. Even just like looking around now, it's like the kids, and that's what I'm about. And that's why I got into the profession of training. And like I just mentioned before, I didn't have this growing up. My dad did the best he could. He was waking me up early in the morning, going to workouts, training, 7 days a week, including Sundays, and going through, coverages and stuff like that. And he played safety in college. He never really understood the quarterback position. And so when I got to USF, the University of South Florida, go Bulls, almost beat the Gators this past week, I got kind of exposed, right? So my whole thing was I had a great arm growing up, and I was very conditioned. My dad, had me on a regimen. But when I got to USF, I was kind of exposed in the fact that I got on the board, had to go over coverages, had to explain why I'm doing what I'm doing in practice, and I didn't really know. In high school, I just had a great arm, and that's what I thought what it took to be great. And no, it's much more than that. So knowing how I felt in that moment is why I do what I do every day, to make sure that these kids have that opportunity so that when the opportunity presents itself, they're prepared and ready to take advantage of that. And I didn't have that opportunity, but now it's my job to make sure that they do, and that's what really motivates me.
So what was your goals coming into this profession? Because everybody has different reasons why they do it, different goals. What was your main, your top 5 goals at least?
Yeah, my top 5 goals, one is to make sure they're prepared for that opportunity. And I got to live the dream that most kids get to live, and that's another reason. That's number 2, to help these kids live their dream. So I have over 60 contacts in my phone alone, from Division I programs all the way down to NAI JUCO. So I have the ability to get these kids to the next level. They obviously have to do the work on Friday nights, but at the end of the day, I have the connections. And so that's my main goal in all of this, is one, to make sure they're prepared when they get there, and also getting them there. That's like the 2 main goals. The third goal in all of this is, again, just to make sure that these kids get to experience things that I do at that level, and hopefully play professionally. So I got to, travel the world playing football. That's what I love, and to have the opportunity for these kids to enjoy the same experiences that I did, that's just something that, again, I cannot wait. And that's my goal. All these kids that I train, my goal is for them to get to that level. There's no, we're going to get them through high school, make sure they're the starting quarterback at this level. No, my goal is for every kid that I touch, that they're the best at every camp that they go to, that they're always going to be the ones that stand out at youth football games, and they're going to be the ones getting scholarships and signing on signing day. And I take pride in that, and that's exactly why I do this. Another goal is to get closer to God. I think that's the main thing that I do this. Again, everything is about God. I don't take credit for none of my stuff. God's putting me in position to be where I'm at today. If it wasn't for God, I wouldn't be where I'm at, in my career, and enjoy the things that I was able to do, and hopefully these kids will get to do in their future. So my main thing is I hope they see God through me. I know sometimes I get intense. I know there's some things that happen and are said during trainings and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, I know where my heart is, and these parents and these kids know exactly where that is, and that's why my business is able to grow as is, because I'm not fake. And like I said, I hope they see Jesus through me, and that's really ultimately why I'm here. I'm just living out my purpose that God gave me, and hopefully, like I said, when all is said and done, all the goals are met, and these kids are living their dream.
Okay, so what was the welcome to football moment? Getting hit, a blindside hit, fumble sack. What was like that welcome to football moment for you that you was like, damn,
welcome
really
to football.
here.
That's a great one. You know what? It happened when I was, I believe, in 6th or 7th grade. I'm pretty sure it was 6th grade. I scored my first touchdown. And, as an athlete myself, my dad put me in 3 sports. So I started baseball when I was a kid at 4 years old. At 6 years old, I did basketball. And at 7, I did football. So at the age of 7, I was doing all 3 sports year-round until my senior year. So, but I remember my natural sport's baseball. I'm gonna be honest with you, that was my best sport. Didn't really try hard enough. You know, I was just natural. It was easy for me. Football was difficult. Obviously, it's a team sport, so you're relying on 10 other people when you're on the field. So it's a little bit more difficult, which I love challenges, and I think that's why when I scored my first touchdown in 6th grade, like that feeling was unlike anything ever. I mean, I've scored 33 points in a basketball game just shooting the ball. I've obviously hit home runs before and experienced that and winning in a big culture environment where it's all baseball. But when I scored my first touchdown, even though we weren't good my first year playing, that was like the best feeling, and I knew once I crossed that line, how hard it was to get across that line. I realized, man, when I scored, that's what that's bringing me the most joy. So I always tell kids, I say, don't always go where you're good at, go where you're passionate about, and then you're gonna get good at it. If you're passionate about something, you're gonna put your whole effort into it. And like I said, for me, if I stuck with baseball, who knows? I could have got drafted. I don't know if I really took it serious. But football was my passion. I went after it. I got to experience the things I did: play college football, play professionally, and now train. It doesn't get any better than that. So yeah, football is my passion, and that go-to moment was when I crossed that goal line for the first time.
That do feel
That's
good.
different. That's a different feeling.
So, what's like a ceiling for you? Because you've been doing this for so long. Is there ever like a time where you're like, I'm gonna be done? Like I'm gonna just be done. I met all the goals I met in my personal life.
What's up, baby?
I met all the goals in my life. I helped as many kids as I can because you brought a lot of great kids out of here, a lot of great athletes.
Yeah.
Even the ones that don't play quarterback.
Yeah, right.
So what's the ceiling for you? What's the
Yeah, I don't think that, and that's the beauty about life. It keeps going. So I don't think there's really an end to this. I think that I can do this. I told my wife, I said, look, I'll be training kids till I can't do this anymore. Like literally, like if I'm in a wheelchair, like I might still be standing outside just coaching from my mouth. So I think that this is longevity. I just had a son. He's 3 months old, so I know that's just starting that. So guess what that means? When he's 3 years old, we're going to be training out here. So you just imagine that's another 3 years on top of what I'm doing now, and then that's going to start his career. Not to say that I'm going to have other kids too. So I mean, this thing can go forever, and I love what I do. My wife supports it, and so with that being said, I'm going to do this until I can't do it anymore. Until God physically says, I called you out of this purpose to lead you in a different direction, which I don't see happening. If it does, I'm just going to follow God's will. But at the end of the day, I can do this forever, man. This is what I do. This is what I'm passionate about. It's about the kids, and when you have that and you have your heart in the right place, I think you can go places with this.
Okay. So I got an off-ball question. Because your Dolphins is 2-0. You're a big Dolphins fan. So how you feel
Miami.
about your team?
So people are, oh man, you're a fair weather fan. When Miami all of a sudden is good, like the Hurricanes or the Dolphins, guys, look. My dad's from Miami. I'm Cuban. People don't know that. My last name's Trujillo. So yes, I look white, but I am actually some Hispanic. Right. So all my dad's family. I grew up in Miami. I always was in Miami. My dad's whole side of the family still lives in Miami. So Miami is my culture. Like that. Obviously, my dad was my hero growing up. So I stayed with Miami. So yes, I'm a true Dolphins fan, a true Hurricanes fan, a true Marlins fan. Unfortunately, because they suck. Florida Panthers fan. You guys don't even know what that is. That's hockey. There is hockey in Miami, even know how hot it is. So I'm all about Miami sports. I don't really like FIU. My cousins played there. My cousins went there, but I'm a Canes fan at heart, and I got to play against them when I was at the University of South Florida. I think that was a surreal moment for me. We lost 6-3. That was in 2011. Check that game out. But yeah, so the Dolphins are 2-0. I honestly, as a fan, unfortunately, almost turned the game off. It was 35-14 in the fourth quarter, and I'm like, well, we're back to the old Dolphin ways, right? But Tua showed up, and it does help when you have the 2 fastest guys in the entire league on your one team as the receivers, and saw what they did with fantasy. So shame on you guys for benching, Tua for your fantasy this week. I hope he made you mad.
He was definitely on my starting lineup.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, so he lit it up with 6 touchdowns. But no, I'm excited. This week's going to really show where we are as a football team. I'll be honest with you, the Bills are the best team in the league, bar none, and even though they're battling injuries, they're blowing out both teams, pretty solid teams in Tennessee in their first week against LA Rams. So they're the real deal. But if the Dolphins can somehow squeak this one out, oh yeah, we got something to talk about for Maine, at least for Facebook for me, because that's what I like to do.
So, top 5 quarterbacks.
Where? League right now?
Yes, top 5 quarterbacks.
Wow, that's tough.
Like.
Well, number 1 is Tom Brady, and I don't like him. I'm a Dolphins fan, right? But we always beat him, so I kind of like him because I love when he plays in Miami because we always come with a W. But I think Tom Brady, just what he does, his story and everything that he does, he's just the greatest. He will be the greatest of all time. No one will ever do what he does. I just think he's that special. Number 2, Josh Allen for the Bills. I think he's the real deal. I think, people sleep on him, but he's showing us this year why he's that guy. He's a really talented football player. Number 3, I actually like Patrick Mahomes. I mean, he's the real deal. He's won Super Bowls. He makes any throw on the field. I think that he's kind of showing his cards a little bit now with the less talent receiver. So now he's really going to have to break down a defense and not rely on the speed to get behind everybody and just chuck it 70 yards because he could do that. But he's still an elite quarterback and one of the best in the league, bar none. I do like Matthew Stafford. Now all of a sudden he's just turning the ball over a lot. I think he's living the hype of the Super Bowl year, but he's always talented. I always liked him when he was with Detroit. The guy has a big time arm. He's a competitor, which I love to see, especially at the quarterback position. He's definitely top. But my last number 5, and you're going to be surprised, and I wish the Dolphins had picked him up, is Justin Herbert. I think that when you watch him, his confidence, the way he throws the ball. I mean, just last week with a broken rib, he just showed you why he's elite. And I wish the Dolphins would have went after him. They had the opportunity. They went with Tua, the Alabama guy, but I think Herbert's going to have a high ceiling. He already made the Pro Bowl. He was the MVP of the Pro Bowl last year. The guy's got the it factor, and his story is crazy too. He's a walk-on at Oregon. He grew up an Oregon fan, earned a scholarship, and was obviously in the league, and he's going to do great things. So yeah, those are my top 5 Qs.
Okay, then anything else you want to say to the people? Just to give a little motivation to those out there who probably don't know who you are, and also what they can do to be better, especially being a godly
God-fearing man. Yeah, that's number 1. Jesus number 1. Anything you do, at the end of the day, we live in a short span. So when you die, you better get right. You're going to get left, and that's what I always tell the kids. So you always keep God first if you want true joy in your life. Jesus first, others second, yourself last. That's Joy, true joy, and a lot of people are searching for that. So the only way to find that is through Jesus. That's number 1. Number 2, guys, you got to find a trainer. If you want to get better, you got to get better at your craft. I mean, too many kids that I meet have the goal of playing the NFL, the NBA, the MLB. That's great. What are you doing every day that's going to get you there? Are you actually putting in the work that's going to separate you from your other competition? Because guess what? Every kid out there that's 6, 7 years old wants that same dream. So what are you doing differently that's going to get you to that dream? And that's working every day. Eating right, sleeping right. Just practicing on the daily, even without yourself. You don't need anybody to push you. You can go outside and do ladder drills. You can go outside, shoot 100 balls a day. You can go outside, throw at a target every day. You can go to the batting cages. Do something that's going to help you be productive in your craft. And I think a lot of kids rely on too many adults to try to get them there. No, it takes you to get to where you want to be. Michael Jordan wasn't telling everybody to go shoot 1,000 balls a day before a game. I mean, that's just what he wanted to do. And guess what? He's the best ever. So if you want to be great, you got to be great. And if you want to be great, you got to do great things. And that's not sitting on your couch playing Fortnite. That's getting out there and making your own money instead of watching someone else make theirs.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Yes, sir. No doubt, man. I appreciate you coming out here and all that and taking time out of your day, man. That's awesome.
Well, that concludes this podcast, man. I want to thank Coach again for letting me come out here and invading his space, invading his sanctum. But we out.
Let's go, Chunk. Let's go, Chunk. Let's go, Chunk. Okay, Chunk. Okay, Chunk. Here it comes.
Yo, it's your boy Nate, man. The hottest podcast out right now. What Will I Think of Podcast. Man, y'all need to go like, comment, subscribe for real, man. This podcast going up. We got bangers on the way. A lot of bangers, man. Y'all review them last 2 episodes, man. Y'all really vibe with me. And we out.